Hi, I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls since I was a child and never outgrew it. I enjoy collecting all types of dolls, but my favorite is Reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Ava, Zoe, Haley, and Landon. Along with collecting, I've been a Reborn artist since 2008. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hi guys! So I'm here to kind of redo our little tutorial of our new way that we discovered to modify magnetic pacifiers for open mouth reborns, or at least for this open mouth guy, as well as my Eleanor sculpt, which is Maya. It works for both of them, just with the shape of their mouth and everything. So the reason I'm redoing this is because I felt like it was a little bit unclear in our doll night video. So I just kind of wanted to re-explain. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your magnet and let it catch. So as you can see, his magnet is actually below his chin and it's slightly angled, and so that's how Susan put it on her pacifier that she sent with him, is that she had it kind of angled on the pacifier. Let me see if I can show you guys. I think I've showed you before, but you can see her pacifier, the magnet angles below the center part, so where his chin goes. And so, like, you know, you can see that it contours to the chin area. However, when I was going to make a pacifier for him, and I was gonna use Susan's method, which is, you know, it's good, but it looked like it would be a little complicated for me to figure out. But it's nice because you can cover it with the fabric, but whatever. So when I went originally to see which side of the magnet stuck to his mouth, the magnet actually, instead of going here, it actually went inside his mouth when I went to do it. As you can see, it went like right inside his mouth like that. When I first, it just automatically went there. It didn't go to his chin. And so when I saw that, I was like, that's interesting. I wonder if I could glue the magnet a different way on the pacifier to make it go in his mouth, which is how we ended up doing this. So the way that you figure this out is you have your pacifier. So I'm going to modify this. I call it a Nemo pacifier. I know it's not Nemo, it's a clownfish, but I have a Finding Nemo sleeper for him, and I thought this would be really cute with it. So you cut off your nipple. I've already done that. So what you're going to do to figure out how to glue this on, so you're going to take your pacifier, so it's going to go on him like that. So you want to flip it over like this and lay it down, and then you're gonna see how that side of the magnet is on the lower inside part of his mouth. So you're just gonna pull that magnet out, and it is a very strong magnet, so we found that we had to actually use tweezers a couple times to pull it out. But if you can grab it, great. If you need tweezers, you can use tweezers. I might need to go and grab mine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to grab some tweezers to pull it out, unless I can grab it with this hand. Okay, I'm gonna grab my tweezers. Okay, so I've got my tweezers, and I'm just gonna grip that magnet to pull it out. And it's easy because it sticks to the metal, as you can see. So I pulled it out this way, and so you're gonna grab that and make sure that you keep that underside pointing downward, because that's what has to stick to his lower lip. And so you're going to take it very carefully. So you see the side that has to stick to the lower part of his mouth is what's touching my fingers. So you're going to grab that and you're just going to turn it. You're going to turn it upwards like this. And so that is the way you're going to glue it in. So that the part that's the underside part that's touching my finger is going to point towards the bottom part of the pacifier, and you're just going to glue it in there like that. Can you guys see that? Okay. You're just gonna, so basically when you take it out, it was in him like that, you pull it out and you glue it in there that way. So we got to get some hot glue in there and put it in here. So what I suggest to do is once you've figured out that it's the underside that has to point towards the bottom of your pacifier, I would take it over to your table where you have your hot glue and place it so that the underside is on the table like this. So you're just going to put it down gently on the table. So we now know when we lift it up, it'll just go right in. So let me get my hot glue and I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, so like I said, I've gone over to my glue table now where my glue gun's set up and plugged in. And again, so this part of the magnet is going to be facing the top part of the pacifier, and the underside is going to face the bottom part. So I'll show you guys what I mean. So we're going to take our pacifier and we're going to put our glue in there, and you want to put a lot of glue because you want to make sure that it will stand upright. And so then you pick up your magnet and you put it right in there, just like that. And then you're going to press it down so that it stays in place, and you're going to hold it. Oh, I got a little bit of glue on me. And it pretty much is good. Like, it stands up on its own, but you can just hold it in place until it dries. But of course, because it's hot glue, it dries pretty fast. So once, I mean, as soon as you have it placed, it should pretty much stay up on its own. And then you can just let it sit to dry, and it'll be ready to use then. And so I'll show you once it's done how it fits in Landon's mouth again. I'll show you. And then I'm also going to show you how you can take this one step further and use it in a Real Care 1, a Real Care 2, and a Real Care 2 Plus baby, because you pretty much do it the same way, except you do not need to find which way the magnet sits in your Real Care baby. You do not need to do that because the Real Care baby does not have a magnet in it that this magnet will stick to. All it does is this magnet is what triggers the feeding mechanism in your Real Care babies. So you don't need, you can just do it without holding it up to the doll's mouth. You can just put it either way. And then obviously, since there's no magnet in the Real Care's head, this obviously will not stay in your Real Care's mouth by itself. All it will do is trigger the feeding. So I'm gonna, once this is dry, I'm gonna show you how you can get it to stay in your Real Care 2's mouth, or Real Care 1. It should work in there as well. So Real Care 1, 2, and 2 Plus it should work for, and I can't fully attest to it, but I'm assuming it will work like that in the Real Care 3s as well, but I don't own a Real Care 3, so I'm not sure, but I'm assuming they all have that same way of having the feeding mechanism, so I wouldn't doubt that. So but yeah, so it's just drying, and once it's dry I will show you how it works. Okay, so it has dried, and I actually had to redo it because I realized that the magnet wasn't totally straight. It was kind of tilted a little, and so it made the pacifier, like when it went in his mouth, it was kind of tilting a little bit. So now I got it so it's nice and straight. So you just take your pacifier and slide the magnet in the mouth, and yay, he's got a Nemo pacifier now. So that's cool. So now, like I said, with the Real Care 1, 2s, and probably 3s, the magnet will not stick like this. It will not stick. So to make it stick on a Real Care baby, you will need some poster putty. You can get either the white poster putty, or you can use the turquoise poster putty. Both are fine. I've never had anything stain my Real Care baby. But I'm actually gonna grab my Real Care so that I can show you how it goes in her mouth. So 1 second, guys. Okay, so here's my poor Real Care baby. She's still all orangey, discolored. I'm still in talks with the company to try and figure out what my best option is at this point to get her fixed or looked at or whatever. But anyways, let's get away from that subject for now. So as you can see, the magnet goes in her mouth like that, but the pacifier will not stay. It does not stick because she doesn't actually have a magnet in her mouth. It's just that the magnet is what triggers the feeding mechanism. So you are going to take some poster putty, and you're going to knead it in your fingers to really get it nice and sticky. So you're going to just knead it like that. And then I can't remember if I usually put it at the top or the bottom. I don't know if it matters. And so then once it's really nice and sticky, you're going to take your pacifier with the magnet in there, and then you're going to just kind of like smush some of this poster putty along the top of it like that, so that when you put it in her mouth, it will stick. It will stick to her mouth and it will stay in, and then the magnet will trigger her feeding, and yeah, you can just pull it off. And if it sticks to her, you just pull it off. And if there's any little bits of poster putty that remain stuck to the mouth, you just have to like dab it really quick like that, and it takes it off, and then you can just re-stick it back on top of on the top part of the pacifier, and you're ready to go again. So that's how you do that for the Real Care pacifiers. And like I said, it also works now for Landon with his open mouth. And if you guys were also wondering, that Q-tip method that Paula and I showed, we actually tried that first on Landon, and we also tried it on Maya, but because of the shape of their mouths were a little bit too small, and also they weren't deep enough to take the pacifiers that had been modified with the Q-tip ends. And if you didn't see that, just go and see my video that's titled Reborn Baby Cousins, and you'll see our Q-tip method as well. But we just found that it wasn't working in Landon, and it wasn't working with Maya because their mouths, well, with Maya it wouldn't even fit because her mouth is smaller, and then with Landon it would fit, but the mouth wasn't deep enough to take the Q-tips. So that's why I was like, oh well, I guess I'll have to do the magnet pacifier for him. And I was about to, like I said, I was about to try Susan's way when boom, the magnet went right into his mouth. And I was like, oh, okay, so let's try this, and it worked. So so yeah, so that's how you do that method. I just wanted to kind of re-clarify how you determine for the reborn which way to glue the magnet in. So hopefully that clarifies it and you found this tutorial useful. Be sure to click the thumbs up button if you did. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys. I'm so excited because I was not expecting this at all. We were just eating dinner and got a knock on the door, and there was this package, and it is from, I hope I say this right, Yasmin. I think I'm saying it wrong. I know, Yvonne, you get it wrong too. I apologize if I said it wrong. I think it's Yasmin, or is it Yasmin?